When most people hear the name Aunt Jemima, they think of pancake syrup and breakfast foods. For more than a century, the smiling face of Aunt Jemima was one of the most recognizable advertising images in the United States. But many people don't realize that part of this story connects to a small, steel town in western Pennsylvania, the town of Donora. The Aunt Jemima brand originated in the late 1800s as one of the first widely marketed ready-made pancake mixes. In order to promote the product, companies used live performers to embody the Aunt Jemima character at fairs, grocery stores, and public demonstrations. These women cooked food on site, interacted with customers, and helped turn the brand into a recognizable household name. Over time, the role was performed by many different women. At least 17 have been identified in the historical records, ranging from nationally touring actresses to regional employees who filled in at local promotional events. One of the most famous early performers was Nancy Green, a formerly enslaved woman who portrayed Aunt Jemima at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where she helped popularize the brand on a national scale. In the early 20th century, Donora was a thriving steel mill town along the Monongahela River, like many industrial communities in western Pennsylvania. Its economy and daily life were shaped by steel production and the working class families who supported it. A direct connection between Donora and the Aunt Jemima brand appears in June 1960, when a promotional event sponsored by the Quaker Oats Company took place in the town. By this time, Quaker Oats had owned the Aunt Jemima brand since acquiring it in 1926 and had expanded its marketing through nationwide promotional tours. According to local newspaper coverage, the event featured a woman portraying Aunt Jemima as part of a marketing tour designed to bring the brand into communities across the country. However, the specific identity of the performer at the Donora event has not been confirmed. Based on available documentation and comparisons with known performers, historians believe she was likely a regional representative who was assigned to fill in when more prominent touring performers were unavailable. Even without a fully documented identity, the 1960 visit became part of Donora's local memory. Residents, including Janice Kelly, have helped preserve recollections of the event and its place within the town's broader history. This kind of promotional visit was common during the mid-20th century, when companies relied heavily on in-person demonstrations to build brand loyalty before the rise of digital and mass media advertising. In many ways, this reflects how local history is often constructed, not just through official records, but through community memories, shared stories, and the way events are remembered over time in a small town like Donora. Today, the Aunt Jemima brand has been significantly redefined. In 2021, the name was retired following long-standing criticism of the character's racial imagery and its ties to stereotypical representation in advertising history. While the branding has changed over time, the history behind it remains an important case study in how advertising reflects and shapes cultural attitudes. From a small Pennsylvania town to kitchens across the country, Donora's connection to the story of Aunt Jemima shows how local communities can be tied to national history in surprising ways.